Hi again, this is Katrina Kramlich with Inspired Spectrums, and in this video we are going to talk about the power of the relationship. So we've already sort of discussed about how one of the core challenges with autism is just in their ability to form relationships and know how to be social. So this is our primary goal when we are playing with your student, is to just have fun and develop your relationship in a really meaningful and exciting way for both of you. That's really the magic of play therapy. When you guys have a strong relationship together, then you're going to be able to get your child to do extra things. He's going to have fun. He's going to come to you. He's going to trust you, and he's going to develop excitedly, rapidly for you, much more rapidly if you guys have a better connected relationship than not. So here are a few guidelines that will help you with your relationship and keep it open and trusting and fun. So the first one is to be non-judgmental. Children are really doing the best they can in the bodies they're given in the moment that they have. We don't always know what happened to them before they came to school or what's going on in their body that day, and it's really hard to know, especially if they're nonverbal, what's really going on. So really just believing in your child, and really being okay with whatever happens. With autism, there can be a lot of random things that are going to happen, and being able to roll with it and being okay with that as much as possible is really going to help your child trust you and feel comfortable with you. When we sort of see behaviors as good or bad, it sort of puts out this expectation on our students, and it makes it harder for them to really feel open and accepting of themselves. But if we can be really open and accepting of the moment, whatever happens, and we can still love that and work with that, then that's going to show our student that they're okay. Who they are is okay. And we love them for that no matter what. And that's really going to help open the doors for them to feel confident about themselves and have future growth. So be cool with whatever happens. To always tell the truth. Say what you mean and mean what you say, is how I say it. Children with autism are very literal. It's hard for them to understand abstract concepts, so you want to sort of keep your language pretty obvious. Don't use a lot of abstract ideas or figures of speech or things like that. You really want to say what you mean. You also want to be honest in what exactly is going to happen. So don't lie about when they're going to see their parents again or when we're going to eat dinner again. Don't say in a few minutes if it's really a couple hours. Don't try to sneak things past them because it can harm the relationship. These kids are really, really smart, and if you say one thing but you don't really mean it, they're going to know that, and they're going to not trust you. So be completely honest. In the moment, it may make them more upset, but whatever, that gives them another opportunity to work through that and help them. So I really see that when you tell the truth, it always comes back to be the best thing ever. Number 3, explain as much as you can before it happens. So again, children with autism have an incredibly difficult time sometimes with our world. So much sensory is going on. They don't always understand everything that's happening. It can be very unpredictable to them, and a lot of times they just don't know what's happening. So taking that time beforehand to really explain to your child what's happening is really going to show them that you respect them, and that you honor them, and you want to respect them and honor them, really. So before if you need to help them go to the bathroom and you're pulling their pants down, explain, I'm going to pull your pants down now. If you guys need to go out of the room to whatever you're going to do, explain whatever it is beforehand. And I know there's sort of this myth out there that you need to be simple and children with autism can't understand, but that's not true. Now, they may not be paying attention to you, but they really truly can understand everything. There's lots of books out there that talk about people being nonverbal but understanding everything. So don't talk about your student in front of him either, unless you are talking to him, but don't talk about him with another teacher right there, because he can understand. But explain to him what's going to happen, and the more the better. The more explanations you can give him, then he's going to be able to follow along with what's happening, and it's going to be easier for him. You'll find him also, the great thing about explanations is usually children with autism are much more willing to do what we ask when we really explain it first. So explain it. And I also, like, what did I hear? Give a thorough explanation of why you'd want him to do that. So instead of just saying, like, pick up the toys so that we can have more time to play, later on. We don't have to clean, or so that it's easier for you to concentrate. Giving them a reason behind what's happening instead of just an order is usually easier for children with autism. Also, give them as much control as possible. So this whole idea of the playroom is supposed to be a yes environment. It's really for them. And the more control we give them, the more they will open themselves up to us. So as much as possible, you want to go with the flow and have fun with whatever they're wanting to do. I know there's a lot of times that we can add in our ideas and have an idea for a game, but really you want to go with what's in the moment and wherever your student's at and be excited about that. You can always try your idea again. You have plenty of time to try it, but go with what's interesting to them in that moment. You're usually going to find that they are going to be much more engaged that way. Oh yes, and celebrate. You're going to hear me say this over and over and over again, but celebrating is a big part of what we do here in play-based therapy because we want to keep it fun, we want to keep it exciting, and we want to keep our student feeling excited about themselves, because when people believe in themselves, they're going to try harder. So you want to celebrate, not just celebrate the end result, but celebrate them for trying, celebrate them for working hard, celebrate them because you know that it's difficult if they're having a hard day, but they're still doing it. Celebrate all the little stuff and keep it fun, keep it exciting, find different ways to celebrate. But honestly, this work especially works for kids. It works for all kids, not just children with autism. Every time I see somebody, I'm always asking them to celebrate more because it's one thing that works incredibly well. You'll have the odd kid it doesn't work with, but most of the time, celebrations are an extremely important part of what we're doing here. So that, and you are going to learn your student best. We talked about how you're going to be getting to know your student. So use that. And as you're learning your student, and as you're learning about how to do all this stuff, let the relationship be your guide. Just go to, is this going to help my relationship, or is this sort of harming my relationship? And you want that to really sort of be like your ground. Maybe I'm pushing too much here. Maybe it'd be more fun if I was more dramatic. What can you add to the relationship? What's going to help that the most? So sort of keep that as your number one priority as you're playing, and you will learn a lot about yourself and about your student, and it's going to be great. So have fun and enjoy.